watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross it, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Lots of blood and gore, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it for the party. And if you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for.
It's going to be a busy week on Capitol Hill as more presidential.
A message for the United States Senate. This week, 3 of Trump's most alarming picks come before you. That's too far. Tulsi Gabbard, a dictator groupie, dangerously unqualified. Will your vote hand her all our national secrets? Kash Patel, a QAnon conspiracy nut who wants to weaponize the FBI and use it to attack Americans and take revenge on Trump's opponents. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., an anti-vax profiteer ready to risk children's lives, cripple cancer research, and revive diseases like polio.
I would love you to do so, and I think it would be so good for you.
Will your constituents understand your vote for an unscientific conspiracy nut who rejects vaccines if another pandemic hits? We understand defying Trump is tough, but you've already given him Hexif. That's enough. America is watching. The question is, are you listening?
It's going to be a busy week on Capitol Hill as more President Trump's administration makes space confirmation here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Voice of Reason. As you can see, we have James Russell, comedian James Russell, back on the show. He's going to be more of a regular contributor to the VOR podcast. And we have a lot to talk about tonight. Jesus Christ. We thought the first week of Donald Trump. Straight out of Scranton. That's great.
For you guys.
Like that shirt.
That's also apt for tomorrow with the 50 state capitol protest.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you happen to be in Pennsylvania and see this show, I will be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow. I will be participating in my first protest.
That's our first boots on the ground.
Yep,
Holy
boots
shit.
on the ground. I talked to a buddy of mine into going who is not into politics at all.
Good.
Hey, just saying, you guys got some catching up. I've been at 2 anti-ice shit so far. I've been at 2 anti-ice stuff so far.
Yeah,
I think the other words are right. We've got to tone down some of our more
more graphic language.
Yeah.
We could do PG-13 on this episode, so we're good.
1980s PG-13 or
we got a warning from
2020
YouTube,
PG-13.
like, hey, you guys kind of swear a lot. I'm like,
you potty mouths.
So, but we have a lot to go over. Donald Trump's blitzkrieg has entered its second week, finished its second week, and it's been filled full of embarrassing moments and espionage. On behalf of Elon Musk and his incel boy band hackers or whatever you want to call it.
That is a very accurate description from the word espionage, which seems to have fallen out of all of the media's understanding to the fact that a literal band of boys now has all of your social security numbers. No, not exaggerating.
Yeah, and then come to find out, even today, he is now at the VA. Which I'm sure will work out fine. I'm sure all those ex-Navy SEALs and Army Rangers that have seen combat and have PTSD and rely on medications and treatment from the VA, I'm sure they won't mind that at all. Or, I'm sure they won't have a problem with that. So, we'll see how that works out. So we're going to talk about Elon Musk a little bit and what he's been up to because one is straight up illegal, and let's be perfectly clear. Doge is not a government department. No. MAGA thinks Doge is real.
Well, because anything Trump says,
Right. You have to have a Congress. You can't just magically, wave your wand and create entire governmental departments, especially with non-elected illegal immigrants running it. And that's
what
not
Elon Musk is.
It's really funny. We knew Donald Trump would dismantle our country, and when we get to the end of the show, we have some updates from this afternoon and this evening that are heartbreaking. But man, he's getting real nuts real fast, and it's not going to stop, guys. We thought it would be bad, but it's really getting gross, and no one's doing anything about it.
Yeah, no, Donald Trump is voluntarily putting our military in a genocide situation. Where we're going.
Yeah, we'll get to that again.
If you didn't vote for Kamala Harris because she's not going to do anything for Gaza, well,
Fair
we got
enough,
news
but,
for you. We'll hold off until later in
you
the
know,
show. to talk
two
about
true
it.
things can be accurate about the same thing. Like,
Right.
yeah, maybe she wasn't the best on Gaza, but guess what? Literally, your cousin who enlisted might be going over to Gaza to kill some Palestinians.
I met a Stein voter at a stand-up show I was at last
Oh.
night, and to be fair, he was in California, so it's like, well, you know, it's California. I'm throwing away my vote anyways. Who cares? But
Is California
still,
Stein vote like California sober?
yeah, basically, it's the California voting sober.
Yeah,
But,
right.
you know, I mean, California is going to go for Kamala Emily anyway. But it was interesting to actually meet the guy and be like, oh, so you're dumb. Okay, got it.
Why?
Right. Yeah, please explain. We need to know.
All right.
All right. So wait, before we get into Elon Musk, Mike.
I don't want to
did
get into Elon Musk. I don't
Well,
want to.
yeah, Donald Trump or
No one does. That's why I should pay out settlement and harassment suits.
right. Mike did a lot of work on some really good overlays on what's going on here.
Yeah, I went
Elon
nuts.
Musk.
I apologize. I've been rage preparing for the
Rage
show.
prepping.
Yeah,
And just
rage
so you know,
prepping.
when we call Elon Musk an illegal immigrant, that is not defamation. That is not slander. We are just repeating what his own brother said. And if
I
you
don't
guys
have to use the
see
allegedly.
video, I found the
And
video.
I just want to jump in. I would rather deport Elon Musk and keep the housekeepers I work with. I would rather deport
Yes.
Elon Musk and keep the maintenance guy at my apartment complex.
How about
Elon
this?
Musk is
All
the
the
most
people that
dangerous.
I know, not that I know their legal status, but everyone I work with and meet on a daily basis, I would assume has never eaten a dog or a cat. Elon Musk is definitely someone that if someone said to him, if you eat this dog, it'll be a real cool trip. He'll eat that dog.
If
Like,
you
he's
eat
that
this
guy.
dog, I will give you praise, Elon.
Yeah.
He'll be like,
So
oh,
there-
okay, then
so-
yes, I will do it. Can I have it?
There are
And RK
rumors.
Jr., of course.
There are rumors
Obvious.
on the internet that Elon Musk is a fur baby, and this is a rumor,
What is
but
a fur
I've-
baby?
What is this? now?
it's basically a furry that likes to dress up as like a baby furry,
Oh,
Yeah, that was that club in like
So there'll be
Berlin
like a
or
little
something.
pony, but
like
with a diaper.
diapers, but
Yeah,
baby
okay, so
furry kind of thing.
So
And
Yeah.
furry and
rumors,
baby play kind of had a weird stepchild.
right? And I looked into it.
So
and he
I'm going to
did-
jump in really quick here. I just
Yeah, go
got
ahead.
a notice saying that Pam Bondi was confirmed as Attorney General. Fuck. I stopped myself. I didn't finish the F word. I said,
You know
fuck.
what?
What is
I'd rather have
happening?
Giuliani.
All right, so let me play this video real quick and we'll get into it. Yeah, no shit. At least he would be drunk and passed out the whole time. He wouldn't do any
You'd be
damage.
like, what?
Or he'd be walking around with a raging boner from all the Viagra.
Oh.
It was literally like, these people are insane.
They obviously do not realize we're sleeping in the office.
In fact, when they did fund us,
Yeah.
they realized that we were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
Yes, we were.
I'd say it's a grey area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants. We were sleeping in the office. We didn't have a car. We had one car, but the wheel kept falling off.
But, well, actually, yeah.
Okay, so just so we're clear, fur baby, rumor.
Legal immigrant.
Illegal immigrant, facts, baby.
You know what it is though? See, we missed the whole point, and I could understand this if you look at the panel we have today. Our complexions are very similar, so I didn't notice it at first. But Elon Musk is the right color illegal immigrant.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
He gets the
Yeah.
get out of jail free card. He also has
Yeah.
the money and privilege pass. So that
Yeah, he's got
that
a
gets
few-
you to the front of the line. That's like at Six Flags, and you're just like, okay, just go on up.
Yep,
You
you're
get the
good.
poster.
You're good. You paid the extra $50 to get on this line.
All right, Mike. So what has
All
Elon
right, here we
Musk
go. So
been
the
up
big
to?
thing-
It's a lot.
So we knew he would. I'm trying not to use the F word. Put his claws into things that he probably shouldn't, that he absolutely doesn't have access to, because the guy has zero clearance. By the way, his companies that have military contracts have people that have military clearance to do the work for our military.
Yeah.
He does not have clearance.
He
Elon
can't
Musk
get
does
one
not have clearance.
because
He
he's a
can't get it.
raging ketamine addict.
He's a ketamine addict who also, by the way, isn't, a legal immigrant. He cannot get protective access to things. So, all right. Where does that matter? Well, he finally did it. He hacked his way into our Treasury Department. Let's show how that happened. So I think it was like Monday. I don't remember. A bunch of people who work in USAID, which is our Treasury Department, basically noticed that they were told not to come to work today. Yep, Monday right here, Monday, February 3rd. Don't come to work. USA tells staff to not show up at DC headquarters today in the morning email as Elon says the agency has been shut down. The email is from whoever that is. That person is one of the 19 to 24-year-old group of Musk aides running the government. We'll get back to that because, yeah, literally, remember that band of children? That's important.
Yeah.
It's not just bullshit, okay? It's real. We've been talking about it for days now. Fox News has had pretty much no choice but to accept that this is what's happening. Their language might be a little softer, but they're saying it. New York Times, Elon Musk's team now has access to Treasury's payment system. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent gave Mr. Musk's representatives at the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, which doesn't exist, a powerful tool to monitor and potentially limit government spending. Fox News, Musk rips fraudulent Treasury handouts as reports mount. Doge has access to federal payment systems. So again, he's trying to pretend that he's doing something for us, but he's stealing our social security numbers. Senior U.S. official exits after riff with Musk allies over payment system. A top Treasury career staffer, that's the deep state that the Republicans talk about, the people that are not, quote, loyal to Trump, announced his retirement. Surrogates of Musk's Doge effort had sought access to sensitive payment systems. Guess who didn't stop him? Guess who didn't get congressional approval? Donald Trump. This man, Elon Musk, is an illegal immigrant who does not have any clearance, who does not have an official position in our government, okay, and is being given access using his hacking team to our Treasury Department, okay?
He's been places that the Secretary of the Treasury has never been.
Oh, but wait. Remember those kids? This is Edward Quarantine. I don't care. One, Elon Musk's engineers tasked with hacking into federal agencies. And it's a hack because guess what? They don't have access. So they're hacking it. Locking out government officials and accessing data from the Social Security system and transferring it to external hard drives. Whoa.
I don't care. Like, obviously, he should be arrested for all this. He should also be arrested for that clothing choice. Did you see that? He's in like short beach shorts and a button down and a
FYI, do you want to know how young this kid is? That's the broccoli haircut. That's the broccoli haircut that all the skibidi toilets like to wear. So I'd like to point in here one more thing. They started transferring to external hard drives. Remember the whole, I don't know, defamation of people down in Georgia? Hard drives, votes. Yep. So they're yet again doing what they accuse other people of doing. Elon has empowered a handful of young and even teenage. Oh, sorry. Where'd it go? What did I do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did that. That's my bad.
Elon has empowered a handful of young and even teenage accomplices, all of them too young to drink or rent a car, to participate in the largest breach of personal and financial data in history. This is being reported. This is happening. To be clear, Elon Musk has zero legal authority, permission for this. He has zero constitutional right or privilege bestowed on him in any way. Elon also does not have security clearance. Like the lazy thug he is, Mr. Musk enlisted the help of partners in crime 30 years younger than him so they wouldn't realize the gravity of what they were doing or the lifelong consequences, because they are going to go to prison if we ever get our country back for the rest of their lives.
Or
there they are, folks.
Yep. Those are the kids minus one that are stealing.
You can tell they were definitely the least popular kids in their class.
Oh yeah, these are the kids that are committing espionage. They're committing treason right now. These kids are committing treason, whether they know it or not. This is treason.
How about this?
I'm sorry.
How about this? They're committing espionage. That word is so important here because when everyone is reporting that someone who has no clearance and legal or constitutional authority is literally enlisting hackers to get into our treasury system, that's literally the highest crime you could commit unless you're the president and try and foment an insurrection. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, also, we need to talk about how creepy it is that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk keep grooming these kids that are like they're like something out of like a Pornhub name. It's like barely legal out of high school. And the he's getting for his treason train. Well, and it's just so weird. We talk about the school to prison pipeline. We don't talk enough about the like billionaire grooming children pipeline to treason.
That's fair. We have mentioned the whole Republicans grooming little murderers, like Kyle Rittenhouse and others, allegedly. I guess I don't know.
Well, the last couple of school shootings, it was the same thing. They've
Jay-
all been
Of course.
inspired by.
So we
Our
have that,
vice
and now we have
president-
corporate espionage.
Our
Grooming.
vice president was groomed, not at a young age, but he was groomed by Peter Thiel. And now he's the vice president. He's been funded by fucking, excuse my language. See, it just slips out. He's been
there's
funded
one.
by.
That's two, though. Well, I
know.
stop myself.
I've been telling these guys all day long, like, we can't say the F word, and it just flies out of my mouth, YouTube, okay? I can't help it, bro. I don't know what to do about it. It's a sickness.
All right, well,
It's just the one. We should be fine.
here's the
Yeah,
best part.
good.
This isn't going away. More and more people are talking about it. We're now starting to have, I can't believe I'm saying this, some Democrats in Congress going, maybe we should think about it. But yeah, exactly. Let's take a look, because this is serious. If anyone who knows anything, Robert Reich is a mainstay in the actual informationosphere, I'll call it. The guy tells it like it is. Let me emphasize, Elon Musk has not been confirmed by Congress. His department was never actually enacted. No one other than Trump has given him any authority. Democrats and any Republicans with a spine need to step in and stop this madness. Call your rep now. I'd like to reiterate for the folks in the back, call your rep and tell them President Musk has to go. This is not actually a joke, and I wish we could have got for this like an 80s, one of those old car salesmen, and be like, hey, get yourself a call Elon Musk. Get him out of there right now, right now.
Yeah.
Because this sounds insane. They are committing treason and espionage right now. Everyone's talking about it, and like, no one's doing anything. This is the time for a military coup. If you're out there, good generals, like, could you do something? Because you're not going to get paid either. They're going to milk us dry.
They are apparently have scrubbed their social medias, and a lot. I'm pretty sure they're hiding because they put their lives in danger. You've messed with millions of Americans.
This is
millions.
This is different than Luigi. Okay, he's becoming a folk hero. The guy's treated like royalty in prison.
The more that happens, I'm sorry. The more of this that happens, the more Luigi is gonna be a folk hero. Okay, they are making Luigi into a hero. Okay, we weren't trying to, but they have successfully proved that he may have been.
And you know what's doing that? Trump continuously not using the F word over the people that voted for him, because now he's going for their Social Security. He's going to destroy their veterans' benefits, and it's not stopping.
I want to jump into the Luigi discussion because this is one of my favorite topics.
I know.
So it's worth looking into what caused this guy to do this, because it's a breaking of the social contract. You have these billionaires, these oligarchs, and these nutters who are creating a system where we have no opportunity to get recompensation for when they commit crimes. These healthcare companies are committing murder by spreadsheet, and no one's getting arrested for that. You don't understand that Luigi Mangione actually saved lives, because Brian Thompson and everyone else at that healthcare conference are mass murderers, and they were going on within that conference to find new ways to kick people off insurance so they can keep the money and get more people killed.
That's not
if
even
anything,
an exaggeration.
Luigi Mangione saved lives.
Yep. Yeah. And of course, we're not allowed to talk about that because, yes, theoretically, he shouldn't have done what he did. But when you push a public to a point where, by the way, this isn't like new, this has been being built this way for 100, 200 years now. We are at the point where critical mass capitalism cannot sustain itself. And the oligarchy is actually like, well, we milked it. Let's just raid the treasury. That's what's happening right now, because there is no state in this union where one income can afford to rent an apartment.
No. And that's my point, though, is because they give us no avenue. Like, what's the saying? If you make peaceful protests impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable. And that is where we are at, because you can't even, in these states, these redneck failed states like Florida, Louisiana, New Orleans, some of these places, well, New Orleans is a city, not a state. Some of these places have outlawed certain forms of protest, again, like blocking highways, which is what we did yesterday, the day before yesterday. No, was it yesterday? No, it was Sunday. At the protest, we blocked the 101 freeway because we need to.
Oh, you were there?
No, the corporate media. I was, and the corporate media wasn't covering it because the corporate media will not bring attention to these issues. And so, again, they are icing the people out that need to have their message heard. We can't get lawsuits won because we have these moron judges. We can't get any prosecution of these people because they're bought and paid for. We can't get the politicians to pass bills because they're craven losers who won't even join us on the freeway at these protests, by the way, when they are at risk. My congressman, Jimmy Gomez, he is a Latino guy, and he is very much at risk. Anytime he was walking the street, based on this new Lake and Riley Act, which Democrats voted for, he walks the street, he gets an accusation like, I think you're an illegal. Doesn't matter. He's a congressman. Doesn't matter what proof he has. He can get arrested right then and there. And if he doesn't get the proper paperwork in time, he can get deported. But that's not a big enough deal for them to come and help us. So when you ice people out of any process that we have to get justice and democracy, you get stuff like Luigi. Brought it full circle. Did you see that? Oh, yeah.
No, but the whole point of this is we are at a point where all these little things that people have been trying to fight for and stop and all this over the generations are coming to a head. Racism has now handed the Christian right the country. That's what was used to scare the crap out of enough people to get the vote to go back to an absolute fascist madman.
Yep.
That's why we're here. And why is that? Because they convinced a long time ago that if a poor white man hates a poor black man a little more, the white man's always going to side with the rich white guy because at least they're white. At least
picking their pocket their whole time, because while they're looking that way, yelling at the people of color over there, then he's in their back pocket just stealing the white dude's wages. It's like,
now,
but it's him. He stole your money.
Here's more proof why it's all bullshit until it helps the Republicans.
You're right.
The whole TikTok is stealing your data thing is even more absurd now that Doge has stolen our data.
It was always absurd. It was a total joke.
AOC made a video that was really good that explained why Elon and Donald Trump are doing what they're doing. See, Donald Trump has made several very big promises to these billionaire donors like Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Elon. They're looking for the money to afford their $4 trillion tax cut for the billionaires and millionaires.
They are not going to be able to pay for the government to function because of the vast amount of money they are going to give to the billionaires. That's a thing that's happening.
And just so you know,
I just want to jump in really quick on that point where you're saying they're not going to be able to pay us. There needs to be serious discussions. I would encourage as many people to put off paying your taxes for right now, because there needs to be serious discussions about not paying your taxes.
I'm not.
We need to consider this. There needs to be a mass tax strike, because even if you were, let's say you're getting a refund, even if you are entitled to a refund, you file your taxes, you might not get anything back. They have all that access to that money now. So we need to really think long and hard about.
You think Elon Musk is going to give you your money that you got on your return? And when I say Elon Musk, he's the one in charge of our treasury right now.
What if they're waiting for people to file their taxes?
Oh, fudge.
What if that's the whole plan?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
What if they are waiting for people to file their taxes this year?
Because now they have access to that. Well, now they have the access. They're the intermediaries. They installed a server within the Treasury. That's been confirmed. So they have access to all this payment information. So if you send your money with your tax return, that money could be siphoned off to a third party, and the federal government is like, nope, you still owe us. And they won't care.
No.
You're still going to have to double pay.
I've decided when Trump was elected that I'm not giving them a
I gotta tell you, people, it's gonna get real fucky. Sorry, I used the word. I'm sorry.
Come get me.
Because guess what?
I don't care.
They come after you for not paying your taxes, because here's where it's gonna get real sticky.
They're gonna defund the IRS anyway.
Well, how about this? They will, to an extent. What they're gonna do is now somehow they'll find the money and manpower to fund boots on the ground to get your tax money that you owe them. And then now tax-funded thugs are going to be going to your house to steal your taxes.
Right. Yeah. And just so you know, Treasury payment systems are the ones responsible for sending you your tax refund. And they now have access to it. They have they have administrative access. They thought at first they had only read-only access to review stuff. They have administrative access. They can go in. And like Mike said, they did not have a password to get in. They literally hacked in to our system. And now they can go in. Elon Musk and his minions can go in and change and do whatever they want. This is illegal. This is treason. This is espionage. This is bullshit. and we're not going to take it.
I would like to point out before we start moving to a Trumpy thing, unless you have any more Musk videos.
No, I think I'm
all
good
right.
with that.
Guys, we're losing sight of the most important thing here. Her emails. We don't know what was on those emails. And I can't sleep at night. I mean, we talk about Elon Musk committing espionage and all these terrible things that are happening. But the emails, what was in them?
I know, right?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough of that crap.
I haven't heard anything about Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah,
lately,
well,
by the
his
way.
laptop. Yeah. But we still
Nobody
know on
said shit
public
about
record, Hunter Biden's junk is there. Thanks, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yep, thank you. We were all happy for that.
It's not just Elon Musk.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has a crush on him. I think that's what it is.
Donald Trump continues to place himself and through others, garbage humans, in positions of power and authority that will have ripple effects that we may never recover from. No. And you think I'm exaggerating, but if you're like the three of us here and casual racism is kind of cringy, you might not think I'm exaggerating. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Sorry, gentlemen. New appointee at Marco Rubio's State Department. By the way, Marco Rubio's State Department, like that guy is somehow
that's cringe in and of itself. Like I actually went, ugh.
Yeah. So this guy, Darren Beatty-Offy, whatever his name is, competent white men must be in charge if you want things to work. So that's just racism. Unfortunately, our entire national ideology is predicated on coddling the feelings of women and minorities and demoralizing competent white men. Oh, those white men. Aww. Well, this guy, who is now part of our State Department, was fired. Joe Biden fires Trump appointee from commission that monitors Holocaust sites.
Good God.
Darren Beatty-Offy, a former Trump speechwriter, was a controversial appointee due to his ties to the white supremacist-linked H.L. Mencken Club. Nazi approved.
People may be sick. Yeah,
I think
just only the best people, right?
One thing that always comes to mind with this stuff is it's always projection, because these people are always talking about DEI this, DEI that, when in fact the only qualification they have is their family's last name. Look at RFK Jr. The only reason he's there, he's like the Faramir of the family. Like everyone else is like, we wish that your brothers traded places. Like that's how he is. That's what his family. No, come on, that's everyone. His own family says how much they hate him.
Everyone regrets Faramir. You're right.
Yeah,
I know. That's why they wish that he was Boromir, but he's not. His brothers are Boromir, and instead they got Faramir. So, but his only qualification when he was applying to Harvard was his name. Like that's what he said. He said my name. He said Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You know, by the way,
and he got accepted.
Briefly, because this is a whole show on its own. A recent study was done, and 40% of the white students at Harvard were legacies.
Yes, exactly. That's
what
I'm talking about with projection.
Guess where the affirmative action is in white academia. So
legacy. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we officially move to Trump, right? Yep. I do want to show one more thing that I don't know if James knows this.
But
we now know why there is very likely going to be a war in Panama. It's a mystery. This is fascinating, but here we go. This was dug up. I did not dig this up, but I looked into it, and this is old news. Panama, Trump hotel standoff ends as president surrenders physical control. Police bring 12-day standoff with owners, the Trumps, to an end. Hotel's owners' commercial dispute just spun out of control. Executives with Donald Trump's family hotel business have abandoned the management offices of a luxury hotel in Panama that has been the scene of a tense 12-day standoff over a business dispute with the hotel's owners. If you don't know, you may have heard the Trumps don't pay anyone. Trump's security guards also left the property, probably because he didn't pay them either. It took place as a Panamanian judicial official and armed police escorted into the offices the owner of most of the units of the 70-story Trump-branded hotel in Panama. It was never about Panama taking advantage of the U.S. It's all about waging a personal revenge war with your tax dollars.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're going to have a boots on the ground in Panama. And we're going to have, officially, we'll get to it later, boots on the ground in Gaza. Oh, guess what? Not an exaggeration.
Yeah. And again, it all comes back to projection because Trump's always like, Panama, they're ripping you people off. I'm telling you, you are paying more money in trade. Lots of trade, so many trade, and they come in here and they just take your money. And that's never what it was ever about. It was about his own personal hotel that he was too much of a cheapskate to pay his people for. And here we go. Yeah. This is all. It's always full circle projection.
A little baby man is now playing.
Yep.
With
all
the
right,
toy soldiers.
Before we move on to the Trump promotion, Secret Service promoting, which is suspect as hell.
Oh yeah.
Let me show you what the people of Panama are doing right now. Here's a protest from Panama.
What's going on? Look, they're burning the United States flag right now, and they're burning Marco Rubio's face as well. They're burning the U.S. flag. Right now, they're burning the United States flag, Marco Rubio's face, Donald Trump's face here on the streets of Panama.
So you can see they're not exactly
now.
With the idea.
Let's play Fox News, or wait, who just got allowed into the press booth? Newsmax,
OAN, yeah.
So let's play OAN. They'll take that video and they'll go, look, Panama hates America. They're burning flags. We have to retaliate, and they will use that to build public support amongst MAGA. To when Trump does that, they'll forget that they were being promised by Trump that he'll never have boots on the ground in foreign wars. That was a campaign promise that his MAGA people worshipped him over. He doesn't want wars. He doesn't want wars. Well, now he's starting one because he has a tiny, tiny peepee. And I'm not using the allegedly thing on it. We have testimony about the size of Donald Trump's peepinator.
Yeah.
How big of a snowflake do you have to be to start a war over a flag burning? Like, you must be just, like you said, an absolute invert peepee.
Yeah. So, all right. Big story is who Donald Trump promoted to the head of the Secret Service. Remember when Donald Trump almost got assassinated in Butler, Pennsylvania? Republicans were throwing the Secret Service under the bus. They wanted heads to roll. Well, you'll never guess who Donald Trump promoted to the head of the Secret Service. The guy that was in charge the day he almost got his head blown off in Butler, Pennsylvania. The guy who was single-handedly responsible for the single biggest security cuck-up in modern presidential history. And I'm sorry, but we've always been a skeptic of the shooting of Donald Trump.
He's got that mutant healing factor.
Right.
His ear is better than ever.
Full Wolverine on it.
Oh, he went from a bandage to as soon as I saw that maxi pad he had on his ear, I knew it was fake. And then like 2 weeks later, he had a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. And then 3 weeks later, it was magically healed with no scar. And now he's promoting the guy who got a chance to give him the perfect photo op. This is what it was. It was I would have cursed so bad.
Photo op. It was a
photo op.
Yeah.
Political
totally
stunt.
There's a lot of pieces to that stunt. Let's just refer to it as a stunt from now on. That are suspect. But we're not going to go into necessarily the ones we've reiterated or people tend to focus on. The ear, the glass shards. I don't care.
Well, don't forget, the shooter was MAGA. The shooter was MAGA. It was MAGA on MAGA violence.
There's one important piece I got to add, too. New reporting, there was absolutely no communication between the Secret Service and local police on the day of the shooting. That is unheard of. That is unheard
And you know what the best part is?
It was intentional, wasn't it? They did that on purpose.
Well, the best part is, and I may have it in one of the slides, I don't remember if it's in there, where the official report was that the Secret Service specifically reached out and offloaded the securing of the area to local police.
Right.
So that didn't happen. But let's take a look. We're gonna go with the proximity of the sniper to the target. Okay. Let's look at what's going on. That little spot down there is where Trumpy Trump was. That spot that isn't that far away that you and I probably could like throw a baseball to. No, I'm kidding. That's a little farther, but we'll see how far it is. But that's where the gunman was. Now, if you'll notice, it's a freaking sea of white roofs. And the people that were stationed near that flag on those roofs didn't see that guy. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. How far was the gunman's body that no one saw, as you can see in this picture with a clear line of sight, from Donald Trump? 430 feet.
Yeah.
That's not that far. That's a pretty
all right
route to make if you guys.
So what I did when I saw this information is I went, what does that really mean? Is that I'm not a sniper. I play a lot of Call of Duty. That doesn't mean I'm a sniper. Well, there's no strict definition on what the minimum distance is for needing a scope or needing, sighting to be able to target them. So an expert would agree that a minimum distance requiring a scope for a sniper use is around 300 meters, which means if it's 300 meters or less, you should be able to do it fairly much by eye without the use of a powered scope. As this is generally considered the range where precise aiming becomes significantly more challenging without magnification due to bullet drop and wind drift. It was a beautiful, freaking nice day about a piss away.
No wind.
There was nothing. Military standards. Most military snipers operate at ranges beyond 300 meters, typically aiming for body shots at this distance. So the sure shot at that distance was the body, not his ear. Target size and conditions. In situations with smaller targets or challenging environment factors, a scope might be necessary. He was standing alone on a podium on a giant red target. Do we have to get more obvious? Individual skill. Highly skilled shooters might be able to make accurate shots at shorter ranges without a scope, but for consistent precision, a scope is usually preferred beyond 300 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, the director of the U.S. Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, made a bizarre claim which only raised further questions, on the competency of an agency whose mandate is to guard the POTUS and his deputy and their families. When questioned further, the director of the prestigious Secret Service blamed the local police in Butler. She said that securing the buildings in the outer perimeter was a task given to the local police and they had failed. Wow, just dump it on everyone else, huh? That's par for the course. Amongst the various landscapes that have been identified, the Secret Service did not secure the building where the shooter was, in which the assassin took cover. As per the protocol, they were supposed to secure buildings within 1,000 yards. This building was located at a mere 150 yards from Trump, which means it was actually their responsibility.
Yeah, and just for anybody that's ever gone shooting with a rifle or even AR-15,
which I have not.
130 yards or 150 yards or meters or whatever. That's not far. That's not
No,
hard.
that's
not
a pretty
hard
decent shot to make.
I
love how, by the way, you have like legitimate like military standards and then Fortnite. We couldn't go with like Rambo or American Sniper. No, let's go with like the teenager's favorite game right now.
Yeah, so I was a skeptic.
This is for the kids.
Rocky on the back of that van and Rocky, the Jeep in like Rocky 4, whichever one when it came back after those years, and he's just massacring people on the back with the
Rambo 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Tangent.
All right, so let's get into Donald Trump because he's had a hell of a week. Started off stupid and ended up horrifying. First, we will go over real quick the helicopter and plane that collided. And Donald Trump's response to that. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is.
What do you want me to swim?
God.
Yeah, but yeah. So
crap.
of course, let's play. First, I'll play the video of who Donald Trump blames for this because he doesn't take it. He hasn't taken responsibility for a single bad thing that's happened. He hasn't even taken responsibility for the fact that his tariffs are the reason the stock market started to crash. And the only reason. Yeah. So Donald Trump is not taking credit for a damn thing. He is passing the blame off. As a matter of fact, he rushed over to the White House and they actually signed some formal letter blaming DEI and Biden and Obama.
He signed an executive action going, wow. That's literally what happened.
Oh, wow. It's going to be a long, well, however long this lasts.
Christopher, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We must have only the highest standards for those who work in our aviation system. I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre at best to extraordinary. You remember that. Only the highest aptitude have to be the highest intellect and psychologically superior people were allowed to qualify for air traffic controllers.
God, his tan looks horrible.
That was not so prior to getting there. When I arrived in 2016, I made that change very early on because I always felt this was a job that, and other jobs too, but this was a job that had to be superior intelligence, and we didn't really have that, and we had it. And then when I left office and Biden took over, he changed them back to lower than ever before.
Of course. So Obama, there were low standards. Then Trump changed them to the best standards in the world has ever seen.
I just gonna bring it back to the whole projection thing because Obama is like Yale law. He was the editor of the Yale Law Review, which is a prestigious opportunity, had an amazing college career, amazing college score, and then Trump had to bribe his way into his university. I can't remember where he went to, and even then, he won't release his grades because we know that he sucked.
And
so
his professor said.
Projection.
And his professor said he's one of the dumbest students he's ever
Yeah,
had.
that too. But anytime he's saying stuff like this, he's saying it was terrible. It was Obama's fault. He did it. It's literally the exact opposite is true. So you just know that he botched this whole thing from the beginning.
So in the same press conference, okay, remember he's talking about having very high intellect. So here's Donald Trump. He looks like an old Barbie doll head.
Yeah.
All right. While I'm playing this video, if you could do us a favor, please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Hopefully the subscribe button is supposed to light up when I say subscribe, so hopefully it's doing that. But let me go ahead and play Donald Trump's explanation of what the helicopter pilot could have done.
I apologize for this to everyone watching.
To avoid the accident. This is great.
Foreign adjustments made. Again, you could have slowed down the helicopter substantially. You could have stopped the helicopter. You could have gone up. You could have gone down. You could have gone straight up, straight down. You could have turned. You could have done a million different maneuvers. For some reason, it just kept going.
The chopper wasn't even moving. You watch the footage. The chopper looks like it's in hover mode or something. It's insane.
It does. Yeah, you could have went up. You could have went down. You could have went left. You could have did a circle.
It goes whirly gig.
It's like having an overgrown toddler.
That's so our president is a mumbling, can't read when the words are right in front of him. Hey, I'll give it to him. He wasn't using the teleprompter, but the guy
He looks like that drunk aunt that comes over for Thanksgiving and just got back from a Caribbean cruise. She's like, just orange in the face.
Yep.
I had a great time. And she's like sunbaked.
She had her sunglasses on the whole vacation, so her eyes were awake.
I don't know why that made me think of this, but back in the day, there's not many people left of a certain age, I guess, that remember having to sit through watching family vacations on slides. Yeah. And one of the best things about social media is that now everyone puts shit on their social media and go, do you see it? And we're all like, oh, yup, Aunt Carol, I freaking looked at that. That's great, wherever you were.
Yeah. So, all right, so that's how the week started. And it's only gone downhill from there.
Do we want to do the tariffs? Is that where we're at?
Yep, let me play this video too. Get it out of the way because Donald Trump is now threatening tariffs on the European Union as well. So now we have Panama, Canada, Mexico, China, Taiwan, or something. There's something going on with Taiwan and now the European Union, which makes up like 27 countries. But here he is.
Well, you're asking me a question because I'm sure you didn't hear. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely.
God, his face. He's just a snake. Look at that thing.
It looks like he's
looks like that snake that just gorged itself on a rat. Like it's just like I'm happy, but I can take questions. I can.
Were you ever just scrolling like on Instagram and somehow you get to like I don't know if this is gonna tell on me in my algorithm, but like you get to like weird like not skincare stuff, but like weird medical stuff, like Dr. Pimple Popper or like
I have. It's out there. I haven't gotten it.
So like sometimes you scroll and you get like a weird thing where someone's like scraping a callus off a heel. That's what Donald Trump looked like there. A heel peel.
Yeah.
The heel
peel.
All right. Anyway, now that I've disgusted myself, the tariffs that Donald Trump so cleverly said he might and definitely would impose on the European Union. He's saying that with bravado because, well, Donald Trump thinks he's won something because he's this big international player, right?
Yeah.
You may have heard of the tariffs. We're going to go over them. Donald Trump at the beginning of the week officially said he was going to impose, and he did, tariffs. 25% Mexico, 25% Canada, 10% China. Now, that doesn't make sense because from him saying China's our biggest enemy, why in the absolute hell would you tax them the least? But whatever. Canada, typically we get steel, plastic, crude oil from. Crude oil, I don't know, that makes everything on our lives. They're also the people we get our literal gas and oil from the most. Mexico, cars, car parts. China, smartphones, computers. Also, I would say raw materials, electronic components. This is where it gets really funny. Donald Trump.
I'm trying to get my dog to jump on for the camera. Come
Oh,
here.
do it.
I'm trying. Go ahead.
All right. Donald Trumpy boy decided to impose these tariffs, and right away, the Mexican president was like, "Oh, we got to have a conversation, Don. You have terrified me with your masterful play. Oh my God, puppy! Hi, puppy. What's your name?
This is Rufus. He's all like trying to get attention from me and doesn't realize that I'm working.
Oh, I want to rub your lip. I want to rub your lips. Okay, Don. Okay, so the president of Mexico, I love saying that, was like, "All right, Donnie, let's talk." And she was like, "Look, you know what? You are so big and scary and manly, and I don't believe how small your whatever is. I don't believe that. I never did. No one says that. You're right. We'll agree to your demands, and please don't put the tariffs." So Donald Trump's like, "Okay, no more tariffs for you. I won. Okay. But let's see what that looks like." Well, Donald Trump just sold out gun manufacturers, so that's odd. And in general, the bipartisan border deal that he killed would have done way more actual things. President Trump, the Mexican president, they reach a series of agreements. Mexico will immediately send 10,000 members of the National Guard, their National Guard, to the northern border. Tariffs will be paused for 1 month, and the United States commits to working to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons to Mexico, by the way, that we manufacture and somehow get trafficked to Mexico.
And keep in mind that a lot of these concessions from Canada and Mexico these were previously agreed on. When it comes to Mexico, they had already agreed to do this stuff with Biden, and this was years ago, months ago.
And that was the next panel.
Got it? Okay, there we go. Sorry.
No, that's the funny part, because we're on the same page. Canada, because they had the same conversation, and Donald Trump's like, "I won, I beat the Canadians." Canada's giving Donald Trump something Justin Trudeau already promised in December under Biden in exchange for Donald pausing his disastrous tariffs. So they played him. Look at this. December 18th, 2024. Significant investment to strengthen border security in Canada. Wait, Mexico. April 12th, 2021. They're going to send the 10,000 troops that were already promised. Donald Trump, you stupid, tiny moron. You got played because one of these things is not like the other one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Two of them are presidents.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Two of them are actual people. Trudeau isn't the president, but you know what I'm saying. Two leaders of their country that understand what their people want. And the other one is a heel peel in his "I'm in trial for being a scumbag" photo.
Yeah, I actually have a video. So just to recap here. He almost crashed the economy and got absolutely nothing in return.
He got played like an Xbox.
Like, here's my impression of the call by
maybe
Trudeau.
with the red ring of death?
Yeah.
Here's my impression. He wants a border czar. I don't know what that is. Just say yes. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, he wants. Hey, hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. He wants us to say that all cartels are terrorist organizations in Canada. How many of those do we have? None. Yeah, cartels are terrorists in Canada.
Bad. So bad.
We don't have cartels. Mexican cartels in Canada.
I got to say, the Canadian cartels are the most friendly. Before they kill you for not paying up your drug debt, they thank you and apologize for it.
And they also give you a free doctor's checkup.
Just think of how stupid this sounds. Donald Trump wants Canada to say that they're going to get rid of the Mexican cartels.
It's like, how dumb do you have to get played by the nicest nation on earth? Like,
they didn't even like the Mexican president, just because I think she's like really clever, played the shit out of Trump.
Oh yeah.
Trudeau was just like, "Hey Donald, we're already doing this," and he's like, "I won. You see, they caved before he called me." Okay, right. Sure, guy. Yeah.
Here, this clip was so hard to find, but this is Caitlin Collins interviewing a MAGA congressman, and she's asking him like, "So what did we actually get?" And he tries to say about the $1 billion deal, and she's like, "Well, that happened in December. Like, he already committed to that." And this is his response. I had such a hard time. I swear they're suppressing this video on Instagram and
probably
on Twitter because of the response is so bad.
The amount of fentanyl that comes from Canada is nowhere near the scale of the southern border. A lot of it comes through legal ports of entry. But on this specifically, he called this off, saying that he had won concessions from both of them. But is there a tangible concession in your view?
Yeah, absolutely. He won the concessions, and part of it is it's a commitment from Trudeau that wasn't there to help with fentanyl, to help with the black market,
he announced the plan
and to secure the border.
He announced that plan though 6 weeks ago, back in December.
well, at least he's reiterated it and formalized it.
Well, you just admitted that it didn't. You just admitted that Trump didn't do it.
He reiterated it. We
an
almost crashed the economy so Canada could reiterate their previous commitment. It's so stupid. What is happening, man? I'm getting a headache.
He should have just been like, "You got me." Just got up and walked off. It would have been exactly the same with the same effect.
Yeah.
Makes me think of that clip. I think it was Jake Tapper, where the guy, I can't remember. I think it might have been Rashida Tlaib. Someone was getting sworn in, and they weren't going to do it on the Bible. They were going to do it on a Quran, I think.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, just absolute like clown looking guy. He's like, "Well, the thing is, they have to make sure they're getting sworn in on a Bible. That's a requirement." Jake Tapper's like, "Well, but you know that's not actually a requirement to do it on the Bible. That's why they do it." And the guy's like,
"What?" He's like, "What?"
He has that pose for like 30 seconds. Jake Tapper's like, "You know that, right? You know that, right?" All right, that's enough from our fellow congressman. Moving on to the next story.
To that point, though, just quick, when Trump was sworn in the second time and he didn't put his hand on the Bible, a lot of people, when I was complaining, and other people were like, "Well, he doesn't have to put his hand on it. He doesn't have to do that. It doesn't have to be a Bible." I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be a Bible, but the act of putting your hand and swearing on something you hold of value, and making that oath, that's the act of making the oath. If you don't put your hand on something, you're not making the oath.
Yeah, that
and again, projection. It's never actually they don't actually care about any things they're fighting for. They don't actually care about this economy. They don't actually care about the tariffs. They're just doing it for the show because they can steal your money while they're just while you're
that
distracted.
moment there to me. And I like to read into things, but this is what I do. That moment to me told me that Donald Trump had no intention of upholding the Constitution of the United States. And he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he didn't want to piss off his Christian followers.
Do you know what's really funny? The fact that we just talked about that. Obviously that's why Addison said what I'm about to put up, but like it's funny because when she's president, she will swear in on the Constitution. And I don't understand. I understand why in an older world mentality, typically they would put their hand on the Bible. I get it. In my mind, in a secular separation of church and state government, everyone should be swearing on the Constitution. End of story. But I like the idea of swearing on something that you consider to be a profound source of inspiration, something like that. So swearing on the Constitution, Addison, you already got my vote, but like you can tone it down. You don't have to campaign yet. You got
time to work on it. Don't worry. But no, that's a great idea.
We're lucky Trump didn't try to like swear in on $100 bill or something like
with his face on it.
The art of the deal.
And for the money, buy the money.
The art of the deal. I'm surprised they did swear out on that. All right, so real quick, Fox News actually was nice enough to let their viewers they ran a nice list of all the items that are going to be more expensive if Donald Trump's tariffs were to go through. And it's funny because in the background, Nancy Mace, the professional pearl clutcher.
That's awesome. That's
professional fake injury.
The one who broke her arm shaking somebody's hand.
The workman's comp queen herself.
Madam White Lady Tears.
Now listen, she's in the background fully endorsing Doge, and she actually says, "Thank God for Elon Musk and Doge," while this ticker is going up of all the things that are going to be more expensive.
She's literally excusing the hack. Like literally, they're like, they broke into it, and this is great. Like,
yeah, just listen to what she's saying. Wow, this is just going.
Alike, and thank God for Doge. They're looking at waste, fraud, and abuse. Just got access to Treasury payment accounts to showcase all of the fraud going on, billions and billions of dollars. They're already saving billions of dollars a day. We have to look at spending. We have to look at tax cuts as well. But it's very important. There are multiple factors that go into inflation. We have to recognize that and try to fight our way forward and grow the economy in a way that wages grow with the challenges we have ahead, and that people can afford eggs and gas again. We can't do that right now until we fix the system.
Yeah, we were just looking at
all the
scrolling list of.
You cannot script that anymore.
I know, like, right? Cheaper prices. Right, prices are going to go up, but we're worried about government spending. Like, we don't give a shit right now. Okay, we just want
fake.
normal.
She's like Mean Girls fake. You look at her just like you cannot fit in your sweatpants, and that's why you ran for Congress, didn't you?
Yep.
Can you imagine dating her? Jesus Christ.
No, I can't. I couldn't. I wouldn't ever want to.
No.
Her or Lowen the Arab or Bear. Couldn't imagine.
Like, God forbid a hair's in her food at a restaurant. Jesus Christ.
Now,
oh my.
I want to be clear. We are not judging her for the way she looks. We're not judging her for anything other than the fact that she is clearly complicit in the espionage and treason going on from the White House right now.
Yep.
I don't want to associate, nor would I ever want to mingle my life with someone who has such low standards for a society.
Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. Dude, I wouldn't even play Call of Duty today with some dipshit that had MAGA in front of his name. I'm like,
oh, I haven't seen one of them.
No, they're all over the place. They're oh my God. Like this homoerotic thing with Trump, y'all. We got to talk about it. Y'all need to get some therapy or just come out of Trump's closet already.
And it's always like the first insult they use on like my Instagram or YouTube comments, like, "Oh, this is so gay." It's like, you guys have a real thing about homosexuality.
Yeah, you guys want to sun your nuts for power.
Trump's your daddy now. That's what they say. Trump's your daddy now. Like, what is wrong with you?
They're just very perverted people.
They are.
Keep in mind that and this does not make them perverted. But the point I'm making here is that the biggest states that watch trans porn are red states.
Yeah,
nothing's perverted about that. What is perverted is that they try to outlaw trans people when they're like have a whole fetish for it.
Yeah.
It's the hypocrisy, and like just like Pornhub is like we're not allowed in the South. We have VPNs, guys. Like it's just performative nonsense.
I know it's like I use my VPN all the time to go over to Europe news and stuff like that. I'll change it to like UK. But it's so easy.
You know what? This is a good segue, Jeremy, into what you sent me today. I'm going to bring it up because this has to go with their hypocrisy along with free speech, right?
Yeah, right. What? Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong, but
no,
they are not people who understand that rights are for everyone, and what they do is often trample on and expect the opposite of for themselves.
Right.
So you want to explain this?
Yeah, so I made a video. I make videos in my car a lot before I go to work, and of course I have my Amazon uniform on, and then this guy left a comment saying, and he tagged Amazon. Why is this guy getting political with your uniform on? And it's like, yeah, okay, so what about my free speech? You guys can say all the dirty, nasty, racist shit you want, but I can't say I don't support racism, and then you get offended by that. So it's pretty stupid.
And what does Elon Musk post like 2 days ago? Anyone protesting the Trump administration will be suspended from X.
Yeah.
Free speech is the essence, the whole point of free speech, and we've said this, and I will say this till the end of my freaking days, okay? Free speech is not, I'm just going to say what I want, ha, ha, ha. It's the ability to criticize those in power.
Yes.
If you do not have the ability to freely speak your mind, and that is criticism,
right?
You are not a free human being. You can't yell fire. You can't be a dick. That's it.
And one of the biggest signs that you're not a free speech freedom warrior is when you're using your free speech to pick on people with little to no power. When you're using your free speech to pick on the powerful, to pick on the elites, to pick on the people that are running the show, then you're actually doing what you're saying you're doing. But if you're using it to pick on trans people who are 1.2% of the population, you're just a loser. You're just a loser.
Right.
Bullying piece of shit.
Let's be clear too. The Constitution is a contract between the government and the people. Okay, it's not a contract between you and me. So if you say some racist shit in front of me and I could karate chop you in the throat, you know, cause and effect, baby. Okay, that's not free speech.
It's always
I'm exercising my freedom of expression.
I've been thinking of buying one of those bunch of Nazi T-shirts.
Yeah,
where they have one where there's people like with a boot in a Nazi's face. It's awesome.
All right. So we're getting towards the end of the show, and we have a couple more clips we want to go over.
All right, what are we doing? Are we at what's going on tonight? Or
yeah, we're gonna get into the Gaza one last, but this one is another stupid, embarrassing clip. When Donald Trump was asked about the high-speed rail system that we were going to build, and he tells everybody you could just take a plane for $2. What? Not a what? $2 for a plane ticket. And he says that he read somewhere.
He couldn't read what was in front of him.
He read somewhere that you could actually charter the best limos in the world and take people back and forth across the United States and save millions of dollars as opposed to, I'm serious. He said this shit. Listen.
The real question is how much of a kickback has there been? And one of the things I want to investigate rapidly, because I've never seen anything to this extent, the train that's being built between Los Angeles and San Francisco is the worst managed project I think I've ever seen, and I've seen some of the worst. Billions
of course,
over budget.
Yeah, he's been the
In fact,
architect
I read
of
where
them.
you could take every single person that was going to go on the train and get the finest limousine service in the world and take them back and forth with limousines, and you'd have hundreds of billions of dollars left over. It is the worst thing, and we're going to start an investigation of that because it's not possible. I built for a living, and I built on time, on budget.
He doesn't build shit. The guy mismanaged a casino, and he's talking about, I know about this stuff.
Projection, right? Projection,
Yeah.
because, and here's the other thing, the fact that he's attacking this thing absolutely means that he has stocks in airlines that he doesn't want to lose money on, or he has some kind of investment, or someone in his cabinet has investment in airlines, so they have a reason to want to stop transit, rail.
I would just like to point something out. Like places like Japan, China.
Yeah, I've been there. It's amazing.
They take millions of people on daily commutes, hundreds of miles in like an hour.
Yeah, they go like 260
and there's
something
no
miles an
problem.
hour. No.
Yeah, I took the bullet train from Tokyo.
That's on my bucket list. I want to do that so bad.
It was amazing. Somewhere around Mount Fuji, it took about an hour and a half, and I think it was like 250 miles or something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And that's what we need here. I'm tired of America being the backwater of mass transit. We need mass transit in this country so that the working class doesn't have to drop boatloads of money into cars that break down in 5 years anyway. We need this for America.
It's almost like that itself is a scam when you build things to need to replace them quickly so that you make the money.
Right. Again,
exactly. You are describing capitalism. We have discovered capitalism. Capitalism fireworks go off.
And another reason Donald Trump doesn't like this project probably is because it's government funding that he wants to keep.
Man.
Yeah, he wants to keep the money for himself. These people are so transactional. They're so obvious. Like everything they do, it revolves around putting money in their pocket and taking money out of others' pockets. That is their whole shtick.
And you know what their fun is? That's their job. Their fun is being bigots and squashing small minorities of human beings. They get physical joy out of that.
It's they're very small, weak people.
All right, so we got one final topic to discuss, and this is from today. Yeah, this made me sick to my stomach. Yeah.
So if these were the executive orders that Donnie Poopy Pants Trump signed today, withdraw the U.S. from the Human Rights Council. Says Gaza never worked. We will get into that. It's so much more than a dumb statement. Eliminating the Department of Education, so that happens. So get ready to have kids being taught the Bible in school and that evolution isn't real. Yeah. And investigating high-speed train between Vegas because, limos and shit.
Well, I want to jump in on that last bit on the Vegas thing because this is something that I've followed for a while. It's kind of my passion project because I love Vegas, but I hate flying. And I hate flying even more now with Trump in charge.
Yeah.
Shit.
So this train would be amazing because you go from LA to Vegas in about a little under 3 hours, which is really not that much different from all it would take for LAX because you have to drive to LAX. You have to get there an hour early. You have to go through security. You have to sit in this little tiny cramped ass something seat. And this would be amazing. But here's the other thing that's infuriating about it is there is actually some wasteful crap that is happening with it.
Of course.
Because what happens, especially with the LA City Council, which is notoriously corrupt, they have given a lot of contracts out to backroom deals to people who shouldn't be getting these contracts. So the budget goes up. We're paying more. And it drives me insane that the one time Trump has he's not going to solve it, of course, but he does have a point here. And it's unfair. It's unfair that he has a point about my pet project.
It's unfair because he doesn't care about saving anything for anyone. He cares about making sure where his stocks are give him the most value. He doesn't care about fixing. He found a nugget that he could cover in a big pile of golden turds and just hand it to his idiots.
You know what's funny? All the problems that he solved this week, he actually created. And people are giving him credit for solving the problems that he created.
And the corporate media is fabricating that lie.
So as much as I would like to make our final push tonight about the Department of Education being shat all over.
I was going to talk about that too, but
well, we can talk about it, but we need to really think about
now
that.
that the tariffs are dead, that's next. That's
Yes.
next. The Department of Education is what they're going to go after.
It is. That's their focus. But I'll tell you right now, the Gaza thing isn't just saying Gaza never worked.
No, here's
let me just
Go
get to
ahead,
the
go ahead,
point
go ahead.
real quick,
please.
and then we'll show the actual information. U.S. will take over and own Gaza Strip, level it to the ground. Donald Trump has now made the United States not just okay with genocide, but we are now going to put United States soldiers, MAGA, you should be upset about this, on the ground in a foreign country to commit genocide so that his buddies, which already worked out a deal to buy all that nice coastal land, remember how he said that a few months back?
Mm-hmm.
Commit genocide for real estate deals.
Yep, they're going to own the guy. He says own it. Okay, the United States is going to own it. And then he says they're going to level it because, and this is the fucked up part. Sorry, my language. Damn it.
No, I don't care.
I think you should.
The messed up part. Sorry, YouTube. The messed up part is he says they're going to level all the buildings because they're run down and they're all rubble. No shit, because Israel bombed them all. Like, of course, they're rubble.
Also, one more thing. So remember when Trump just took credit a few days ago for getting the hostages released?
Yeah.
And all those Palestinians just went back to Gaza, which is nothing left because it was leveled. So what's going to happen to all of them?
Yeah.
Now that we are going to destroy them, and are we just going to kill them all, or are we going to put them in our new beautiful detention center in Guantanamo Bay?
No, I didn't watch this whole thing, but I don't think he's said what they plan on doing with the Palestinians.
They don't have a plan. By the way, well, no, they're just going to kill them. Yeah, they're going to say when we went to ask them nicely to leave, they turned out to be terrorists.
Probably, yeah.
I just want to point out before this video, this is what you need to know about Donald Trump, and then I'm going to shut up because I'm angry. Today, he decided to hold the chair for President of America, Netanyahu, which reminds me of the time he saluted a North Korean general or had a private meeting in a spooky hotel with Vladimir Putin. All right, I'm done.
Well, it goes. The whole Gaza thing is going to be another issue, and it's going to be infuriating because the same Democrats who were enabling Israel this whole time are now going to be on the other side of the fence and being like, "Oh, we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do that." And it's like, you guys are the reason. One, you're the reason it's happening. Two, frankly, you're a very big part of the reason you lost the election. I was showing this. I can't remember if we covered this earlier or if I did on my live stream, but there was polling showing in Wisconsin and Michigan that 30% of registered voters, over 30%, were saying they were going to stay home because of the way of Kamala's position on Gaza. 30%. You're telling me that couldn't have swung those states? Pennsylvania, 19% said they were going to stay home because of Kamala's position on Gaza. You're telling me that couldn't have swung that state? Yep. So the Democrats, there are two things can be true. You mentioned this kind of when we were talking before the stream. Yep. Two things can be true. One, yes, the Democrats fucked up.
We're trying. The
Democrats forked up and they blew everything. They suck. They were terrible. They should absolutely be hammered for it every single day of every waking moment. However, the flip side of that is that you are an adult. You are an adult. This is the world you are going to have to live in, and these are the repercussions of these actions. We warned you, and this is where we find ourselves. You are not voting for your class president anymore because he can put vending machines in the lockers, okay?
Right.
You are voting for a person who is either going to run this country into the ground or get you protection, safety, and wages. And unfortunately, the worst case scenario, the lesser of two evils, truly, I can't even say that because Kamala had a lot of other great policies for her, but if Gaza was it, then yes. If that was the definitive issue for you, she was the lesser of two evils. This is where we are. And you need to learn, people watching this, you need to learn that going forward. Yeah. You're going to have to make some tough choices. And you're going to have to vote for people that don't do exactly what you want to do.
Well,
but it's the best option.
That's the thing is we need to, the coalition that doesn't exist in the Democratic Party is a coalition of ideas with many different action points. And for some reason, each little action point becomes a microcosm that thinks it's the only one that matters and refuse to concede ground when the greater good is in danger. Yes, everything going on in Palestine is a genocide, and we have to deal with it, and we shouldn't have been in any way complicit in it. Okay, we were. That's terrible. If Donald Trump was elected as he was, and now gave Elon Musk access to all of our money, okay, I get what's happening in Palestine is still a genocide, but now you got a real genocide we're going to compete in, and your Social Security is still going to go away. So, like, you made it worse for every party that you thought you were protecting by your one little niche group that you had to focus on.
Yeah, you
again, not minimizing anyone's suffering, but if you don't take care of your own country first, and that country being America, which generally usually helps most people and destroys others, but whatever. You're not going to have anything to defend. You're not going to be able to talk about the Palestinian genocide now when they start scrubbing the internet because you voted for the person that did this.
Or you didn't vote, or you stayed home in a crucial swing state. Yeah.
So I think this past week, to me, just without a shadow of a doubt, proved to me how soulless Donald Trump is. How he has no empathy and no value for human life. And people are going to die. Not maybe, okay? People already, as a result of these last 2 weeks, just these last 2 weeks, are going to die. If they cut off USAID, people around the world are going to die. If they cut off food stamps, if they cut off Medicaid, millions of Americans are going to die.
Yeah. I had another pop-up just saying that USAID State Department has cut it off internationally, so we're not.
Jesus Christ. We're a mess.
So we're
FYI, just so because a lot of MAGA people can't think this through, the money that Elon Musk is going to save is not going to, show up in your account?
We're not going to see a
penny. That would be, socialism, which you hate.
Right.
So that money is going to just vanish across that server that he plugged in, and everyone's going to go, where'd that, you cut funding, you're not spending that money anymore, but where'd the money go?
It's going to go to Saudi Arabia to pay off his Twitter debt.
And just so everybody knows, the amount of money we're talking about is trillions with a T.
Trillions.
Not B. Annually, okay? The Social Security payments, I think, was a few $1 trillion just in 2024 or 2023 alone. And now Elon Musk has administrative access to those trillions of dollars. Thanks to, and with Donald Trump's blessing, okay? I want to know, why can't a president be arrested for treason? I would like to know that. For defying your
because wait. Think about this. The Supreme Court made it so that when
these are official acts.
If Democrats ever come into power and they pretend they're going to try and do something, he could claim that, this was an official act because I was trying to save money for the American people.
Right. Oh, I did hear, though, that Senator Schumer, they are going to subpoena Elon Musk.
Great. He won't show up. Wait, you know why he won't show up? Because during the January 6 hearings, when a bunch of Republican traitors were subpoenaed and they didn't show up, no one did dick about it.
But here's the thing.
Democrats didn't do anything.
And you're right. They did nothing, but here's the thing. They can take action. They can have the House Sergeant at Arms go and arrest him. I called my congressman when this happened, when the first impeachment trial back in, 2019 over the Ukraine call. And I called them and I said, if these people refuse to show up, you subpoena them, you can absolutely arrest them. The House Sergeant at Arms, there's precedent of it. It's been used in the past. You should do it. And you know what they did? They laughed at me. They said, you want us to use 100-year-old plus precedent in order to arrest someone? I was like, yes. And they thought it was the dumbest idea ever. That is the danger of centrism. And that is why fascism has risen, because we do not have a strong opposition party.
All right. So let me play this video just so you guys can hear the words out of Donald Trump's mouth. They're going to annihilate Gaza, completely demolish all the buildings, and turn it into a goddamn real estate development.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under
and why is that, Donald?
Concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again.
Is he using his finger to read?
The Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it. And be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. level the site and get rid of the
Level.
destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job.
This is
do something different.
insane. This is even more
I forgot
insane.
how painful it is to watch him speak.
This is even more ridiculous and insane than his $500 billion AI investment promise, which was bullshit.
Did you see, like, all right, I know the guy is checked out and doesn't have a single cell in his body that cares about any human.
No, we don't.
But the ease at which he just, I got to read this thing about the genocide we're going to commit. Netanyahu leveled Gaza so that him, Donald Trump, and the Saudis can just put condos in Gaza. That's what's happening. And they're going to do it. They're going to do it with United States troops.
Yep.
That's what's happening. But
MAGA,
Donald Trump, he's going to save us all. He got us out of this country. He's going to get us out of that country. He's going to bring us, the world's going to love us.
Right. Okay. And you guys were the ones. Remember when we said Donald Trump's going to get us into World War III? You're like, no, he's trying to prevent World War III.
There.
He's never got us into a single war. Well, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah, what are you doing now?
This has gotten out of hand, and I can't believe there's nothing we could do about it. So, but yeah, that's it. So if you did protest, and didn't vote because of your position on, you should have picked the lesser of two evils. You messed up.
Sadly.
You messed up. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all we have for today's show.
We ended on a real positive note, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, we couldn't.
Hey, let's end on a positive note about the protest tomorrow. 50 protests.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are going?
Yep. 50
I
state
can't
protests.
go.
Oh, okay.
50 state
Albany
protests.
is too far away.
Yep, starting, I think, between 11 and 12 o'clock at the state capitol building in every single state. I will be in, like I said, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania tomorrow with a buddy of mine, and we're going to be live streaming and getting some footage off of that as well.
Looks like Addison's going to continue her video series. We already had one where she's going over what the vice president does, doesn't do, and should do, so keep an eye out for that. We'll have that posted by the end of the week.
Nice. So, yeah, that's all we really have for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure next week will be even more insane. Hopefully, we'll have some actual good news.
What are you doing?
Where are you?
Thank you for your dedication.
Other than
He's in my home country of Ireland.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this Doctor Who fan is from England, or I would hope he's from Wales, or he or she. I don't know who this is, or they. I don't know. But
cool.
Go to sleep.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, go to sleep.
Get some rest.
But thanks for watching our show before you went to sleep.
Yeah, for real.
If you guys would like to support the show, there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. There's stickers, there's membership, there's all kinds of stuff. You can also, if you want to donate, we are trying to build an actual studio environment. Full professional, all that stuff. So if you would like to donate, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video.
I want to see more Rufus. My bed is a mess right now because I just. Oh, sorry, I interrupted your spiel. Go ahead.
No, as well as the Cash App if you don't like, use the GoFundMe. So yeah, let's get one more look at Rufus.
I just filmed a Trump sketch, so I have all my props and my hair.
Oh God!
on my bed. There he is. There's
the
Trump wig.
Hey, Rufus.
Rufus.
Just a
is
random
there a squirrel?
Trump wig.
Oh
man,
I love this.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. All right, there we go. We ended on a positive note.
Don't tease him. All right, everybody.
About a walk with a dog.
Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back.
Straight out of screen. Okay.
I'll be back on tomorrow online. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming on TikTok or YouTube. I'll have to figure that out as I go. I've never done this before. But yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. I don't think we have any guests lined up for this Sunday. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll have some fun stuff lined up for you. Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video on other platforms. If you could, please, it really helps us out.
And organize with your neighbors. Protect them from ICE. Who said that?
And participate. Action is required. Have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon.